What's up? It's Marco, Sage Soccer, and today I have a couple pieces of news to talk about the U.S. national team. We have news for both the GM position and the coaching position. And at the GM, the biggest news is that Brian McBride is out. It's still unclear if he has resigned or if he was fired from his position. And I see this as a pretty good thing. First, when it comes to Brian McBride, it's kind of hard to really tell what he was doing as a general manager. His position has kind of been unclear. Like, if he was helping with roster selection, I'd say he's been doing a pretty bad job. The only thing that I know that he has been taking part of is recruiting. He was hired in 2020. He was a big part of getting Yunus Musa into the USMNT fold, and that was certainly a good thing. But overall, just getting rid of him is a part of getting rid of the cronyism that's really infested U.S. soccer as of late, with guys like Berhalter, Ernie Stewart, and McBride himself being friends with a couple of the players' parents. And it's really become a big issue with the squad. So I'm glad that he's gone. And I should say that like this isn't me saying that we should have no former pros or nobody's like really familiar with the team coming in. Like I mean, we've had some of the best managers in recent history, like Pep Guardiola. He was like a Barcelona player through and through. He managed Barcelona. They were arguably the best team ever under him. So, like, I'm not saying that we should just get rid of like all U.S. national team players' involvement with like the national team. That'd be crazy. But I think we do need to clean house with this current group of players and bring in some new options. And I definitely think the coach in particular needs to be an outsider. It's not just because we need to get away from the current group of players, but because like I don't think we really have an American coach who's talented enough to take us where we want to go. Jesse Marsh, he's on the right track. I'm not sure about him, but that's an opinion that I have. And speaking of a new coach, we recently offered someone to be our new manager, a very special manager, Jose Mourinho. And obviously, that's very good news. But I mean, basically, Frank de Boer would be an upgrade on Greg Berhalter. Like Jose Mourinho, really good option, but like I'd take anything over Berhalter right now. And we still have time. Like we could fire somebody after the Copa America, so I'm good with us hiring a good amount of players or managers right now. I think that Mourinho would work well with the team. He's gotten a lot of smaller teams to overachieve, and I think that I'd argue that's where he's at his best when he's managing like a Porto, who he took to the Champions League title, and arguably that Inter Milan team, though there was a lot of talent in that squad. And he's been really good with Chelsea when he was getting them to finally break out and turn into a star team. And he had some good moments with Real Madrid, but I think we all know about the issues with him after like his third year, basically. And it should be said that the World Cup is 3 years away now. But I think that the issues that I have with Jose Mourinho are far less extreme at an international level. Like, and first of all, like having international experience, that's really not a big deal. I don't think it really matters at all. If you're a good manager, it can translate. Obviously, there are some specialists, but I think Mourinho would be fine. And with issues like his tactics, like I think he's probably not the best suited for the modern game, but I think at an international level, it's not as big of a deal. We saw how good Louis van Gaal was doing with that Netherlands team. I think Mourinho would be fine, and I think like with the third year thing, with Mourinho having less time with the players at an international level, I think that'd be much less of an issue as well. I don't think that they'd have the sort of fatigue that other teams have with Mourinho. And I just think he fits the international game pretty well. Like in our team, like the more defensive style that can help a team overachieve, I think that would work well with the USA squad. And I would be excited about this Mourinho hire if it would happen, and that seems very unlikely. And this is something I feel I have to mention because it's been bugging me a little bit. And this is because this is the second time that we've publicly offered a position to a coach who is likely to decline the role. We know that Zidane was holding out for the France job, and we know that Mourinho is he declined the Portugal job, which I have to assume would be his dream international position. And like I said, this is the second time we've made an offer to a coach who's really likely to decline the role. And part of me has to wonder if that's the intention of doing this, because we all know how just awful the head coaching search was last time when we just decided to hire Jay Berhalter's brother instead of looking for a real coach who is actually qualified. And I feel like this is their attempt to uh, just give themselves an out if they want to bring Berhalter back. Like, this is just sounding like really stupid, but this is a group of like, scummy people, in my opinion, especially after the whole Berhalter debacle with Reina. I think we can say that for sure. And I have to wonder if they're publicly attempting to hire managers, who they know will decline the role, so they can be like, okay, well, we offered a lot of people. We're going to bring Greg back. I really hope that's not the case, but it's something that's crossed my mind, and I have to think a good amount of people are thinking that too. So if it does come to that, I just wanted to put that out there because there are other coaches who would be available, like especially if we wait till the end of the Premier League season. Guys like David Moyes, Brendan Rodgers will likely be fired, and I think that'd be something we could take a look at. Maybe Graham Potter as well. I think that could be really good. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait until that happens. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully Mourinho accepts, because that'd be very exciting to have the special one managing the USA squad. But I'm not sure how likely that is. Maybe this is just us shooting our shot. I mean, you miss every shot you don't take. Why not go for the best managers available? But I don't know. I just feel like I had to say that because it's been on my mind. And yeah, that's all I've talked about. I think it's pretty good that Brian McBride's out. But, thank you for recruiting Yunus Musa, but it's not really enough to stay. And maybe we can get Jose Mourinho, And that's all I've talked about. We got that game coming up against Serbia first. That'll be very interesting. I think I'll put out the lineup I prefer for that game. And yeah, that's all I'll talk about. See you.